Κυριακή μεσημέρι, στο Μαρκόπουλο, στο Helios Eco Lab του David Davis. Έχει μια ανοιχτή συγκέντρωση σήμερα εδώ και είναι μέρος του κόσμου.
So Kalimera everyone, I'm David, I'm your host today, and we're going to have a nice day with many events, including a tour of Helios, a tour of the solar butterfly. I think many of you already seen it, and Christina, my co-host, is going to be doing the climate fresque, which is very interesting with her facilitators over here. So I'm just going to pass you around so you can all say one or two words about just who you are, and just say a word, what interests you. Just, you know, nature, football, doesn't matter, just say something. Christina, over to you.
Christina, and I am up for climate education.
Split the group into half, probably. So half can start with the climate fresque now. What do you think?
I think that if we can create two groups, one for the solar butterfly and one for your tour, in parallel, and we do the climate workshops afterwards, because I see that there is sun on the table and there is sun downstairs. I don't think it's a good moment, and we have a good number of participants. So one group can go with you and another group can go with the solar butterfly, and then lunch, and then we meet for the climate education, IPCC, climate crisis, scientific data game. I suggest we do now in parallel one group for the tour of David's house and one group for the solar butterfly tour, 1 hour, half an hour more like, because I'm conscious of time. And then those groups, they switch, so the one that is on the solar butterfly, they go and do the tour with David. Then we have a very nice networking lunch exchange. And then we come back at 2 to have a complete 1 hour and 40 minutes climate education workshops in groups of 3.
Λέγομαι Ανδριανός, είμαι μέλος της ομάδας Solar Butterfly που λέγεται πεταλούδα βασικά, ηλιακή πεταλούδα, και ξεκινήσαμε τον Μάιο του 2022 από την Ελβετία και γυρίσαμε όλη την Ευρώπη σχετικά. Πήγαμε Γαλλία, Γερμανία ήμασταν, Σουηδία και Γερμανία, ναι. Και μετά κάτω Αυστρία, Ουγγαρία, Κροατία και φτάσαμε εδώ στην Ελλάδα. Εγώ από τη Θεσσαλονίκη ήρθα μαζί, ναι, από Θεσσαλονίκη ξεκινήσαμε και σταματήσαμε εκεί μια μέρα, Τετάρτη βασικά, ήταν την περασμένη Τετάρτη, και στην Αθήνα ήμασταν χθες και σήμερα είμαστε εδώ. Ναι. Λοιπόν, είμαστε 4 άτομα τώρα και από τα 4 άτομα είναι 2 οδηγοί που οδηγάνε το ένα Τέσλα εδώ που φορτίζει και το άλλο Τέσλα από κάτω, και ένα από αυτούς τραβάει την πεταλούδα, και αυτό που θέλω να δείξουμε με την πεταλούδα είναι ότι μπορούμε να είμαστε ανεξάρτητοι βασικά με την πεταλούδα. Δηλαδή γεμίζει, είναι 80 τετραγωνικά το πάνελ, πώς λέγεται, επιφάνεια, ναι. Και την ημέρα άμα το γεμίζει πάει 150 με 200 χιλιόμετρα. Αυτονομία, ναι, ακριβώς. Ναι. Τώρα δεν μπορούμε να το ανοίξουμε ολόκληρο γιατί φαίνεται είμαστε λίγο έτσι, ξέρεις, δεν μπορούμε να το ανοίξουμε όλο, αλλά είναι ένα στούντιο βασικά. Έχει μέσα κουζίνα, έχει μπάνιο, έχει και ένα στούντιο εδώ που κάνουμε συνέντευξη. Τι άλλο.
Μπορούμε να έρθουμε κοντά από να...
Ναι, βέβαια, ναι, μπορείτε να βρεθείτε. Ναι. Απλά δεν μπορώ να το ανοίξω, αυτό ανοίγει μέχρι εδώ. Μέχρι εδώ ανοίγει. Για τεχνικές ερωτήσεις μετά. Γιατί έχουμε εδώ έναν ειδικό που ξέρει από αυτά. Εγώ δεν είμαι, εγώ είμαι...
Παρουσιαστής.
Ακριβώς, εγώ ασχολούμαι με ακίνητα. Αυτή είναι η δουλειά μου. Τι άλλο. Ναι, 150 με 200 χιλιόμετρα μπορούμε να ταξιδέψουμε.
Όταν αυτό το αυτοκίνητο χωρίς να σέρνει αυτό το πίσω μέρος, έτσι.
Ναι.
Πόσα χιλιόμετρα κάνει στην αυτονομία του αυτοκίνητο καθαρό?
Καθαρό το Τέσλα κάνει 450 χιλιόμετρα.
450.
450.
Ναι. Και με το βάρος αυτό...
Ναι, επειδή τραβάει πολύ είναι τα μισά.
Είναι τα μισά.
200 χιλιόμετρα στην καλύτερη περίπτωση.
200 χιλιόμετρα. Και μένατε, το στείνατε.
Μένουμε, άμα δεν έχουμε κάπου να μείνουμε, μπορούμε να μείνουμε και μέσα.
Μένατε για να μπορέσει να δώσει φόρτιση στις μπαταρίες και από τις μπαταρίες να τις περάσει στο αυτοκίνητο.
Ακριβώς, αυτό είναι η ιδέα. Ναι.
Περίπου πόσο ήταν αυτό?
Πόσο
μένατε περίπου μέχρι να κάνει ένα ολόκληρο κύκλο?
Την άλλη, τώρα όταν σταματήσαμε στην Λάρισα, κάναμε 4 ώρες.
4 ώρες για να μπορέσει να δώσει.
Ναι, αλλά όχι όλο, κάναμε για 100 χιλιόμετρα φορτίσαμε. Ναι. Οπότε 8 ώρες.
Τη μέρα ταξιδεύετε το βράδυ, ας πούμε.
Ναι. 8 ώρες και γεμίζει. Δηλαδή για 200 χιλιόμετρα χρειάζεται 7 με 8 ώρες περίπου. Ναι. Αυτό.
Αδριανέ, τι ταχύτητα πηγαίνετε με αυτό στο δρόμο?
80. Ναι, δεν μπορεί παραπάνω γιατί μετά θα πετάξει. Η πεταλούδα πάει.
Έχει άδεια να σύρει 10 μέτρα τρέιλερ το
Ναι, έχει, το Τέσλα έχει. Ναι. Έχει ασφάλεια.
Στην Αμερική τεράστια τροχόσπιτα.
Ναι.
Πάρα πολύ ωραία.
Επειδή τώρα ήμασταν χθες Αθήνα, χτυπήσαμε και ένα αμάξι, δεν το είδαμε γιατί είναι τόσο μεγάλο. Αλλά από εκεί φαίνεται, βλέπεις, από εκεί. Δεν το είδαμε καν, ήρθε μια γυναίκα, μας έκανε. Δεν το είδαμε. Πήγαμε στο κέντρο βόλτα και...
Έχεις insurance τώρα γι' αυτό?
Έχει ασφάλεια, ναι, βέβαια. Θα κάνουμε, από αύριο φεύγουμε Ιταλία, θα πάμε Γαλλία, Ισπανία και μετά τον Νοέμβριο θα γυρίσουμε Ελβετία και του χρόνου θα πάμε Καναδά, Αμερική. Δηλαδή ο στόχος είναι Παρίσι 2025, το Δεκέμβριο, που είναι το Climate Conference της Παρίσης. Και να έχουμε μαζέψει αρκετές ιδέες που μπορούμε να προσφέρουμε εκεί.
What I do know is that the original batteries are out of service because we had serious problems and now we have a small one. I would guess it's about 15 kilowatts, something like that.
15.
1.5.
1.5.
We heard about temperature problems these
Yeah.
days. Is it down to battery management system?
They, as far as they told me, it's a problem of the panels. They have internal diodes for separation and there must have been a mismounting. Maybe they didn't dimension it properly or I don't really know the details about that. So I can't go deeper because I do not know.
It's not for Greek sun and high temperature.
No, it was an internal problem of the panels. So we had to disconnect them because they not caught fire, but almost.
Good. Good that it was safe. Good that you saw it.
Maybe next year we have improved that with new panels and new batteries and a new charger. Yeah, it's a learning process.
You have a fire extinguisher.
Yes. No, they discovered it earlier, so I have not been part of the party, but they told the story.
That's a good question. By the way, if you have an accident, what's the best way to extinguish the problem?
Run away.
Yeah, actually, that's still a problem with the electric cars. They are doing some tests, having containers where they can pull in the burning car or just wait. For the time being, it's just wait until the energy is gone.
It cannot explode, but
It gets.
Yeah, there is so much energy involved, so it keeps the battery hot, and as long as it is hot, there is a potential risk. Yeah, the fans, you can forget it. Fans, you can forget it. In the normal operation, yes, but not in case of fire.
Oh, no, I mean to keep the battery cool so they don't
Yeah.
Don't they have fans on them?
Yeah, some of them. That's one of the problems I have discovered yesterday.
Are there solar panels on the roof too?
Yeah,
It's completely covered by solar panels.
All 80 square meters. 80 τετραγωνικά είναι.
80 τετραγωνικά. Do the panels tilt? I mean, for you to find the optimal way of the sun?
No, we have to position the trailer, and as you know, it's not so important to be precise.
Right.
More or less, that's sufficient.
For this process, yeah.
Just a few words to introduce what we're about. Why do we do this? So, partly it's a personal project. You know, I'm a designer, engineer, inventor, and I think there's a better way of living. So, if you think there's a better way, then do it. Don't talk about it, do it. This is our philosophy. But also, we want to do something which is zero carbon and zero waste. This is our goal, and we're that far from it. We're not far, we're almost there. So I want to share that experience with you. We've had some successes, many successes, and a few failures, but overall I'm very happy. So you can take photographs, you can copy anything apart from the logo. So really just be inspired, please, and just enjoy the journey.
We learn from our failures.
Exactly, it's not a failure, precisely. Failure is the first part of success.
Yes.
It's a lesson.
Give up, as long as you never give up.
Yeah, exactly. Andreas, you want to say in Greek? Everything.
No, we understand, don't worry.
Παιδιά, ό,τι δεν καταλαβαίνετε τώρα πέρα την πλάκα, μου λέτε να εξηγήσω ίσως κάποια πιο τεχνικά πράγματα ή αν έχετε κάποια ερώτηση, με οτιδήποτε.
Εντάξει, πάμε στο μέσα. We're going to talk about energy first. It's kind of the big topical subject. I mean, the energy prices are going crazy high. And we're going to discuss later this afternoon about strategies for lowering our energy consumption and lowering our energy bill. And Damianos and Maya and the people from Attiki Energy Community will explain about net metering. But we're off-grid. So we get our energy from the panels on this roof. So the house was designed to be facing south. So it's a no-brainer to put the panels on the roof. That was how it was designed. Because for us, a house is just a vehicle for charging cars and for making your life less consuming. So the solar panels is where it starts. The bedrooms come after. Where do you put the solar panels? When you fix that, everything else fits underneath it. And they fit very nicely actually. So we have 54 panels, which is a 12.5 kilowatt system, and that can power our house and the car. So I pay zero ΔΕΗ. Can you imagine that? Zero.
Στην ουσία το σπίτι δεν είναι συνδεμένο με τη ΔΕΗ. Είναι αυτόνομο τελείως, off-grid όπως λέμε.
Αυτόνομο.
Ναι. Και ουσιαστικά έχει τα 54 φωτοβολταϊκά που υποτίθεται, το οποίο είναι 12,5 kW.
12,5.
Ναι. Και τα υπόλοιπα της μπαταρίας και τα inverter θα τα δούμε όταν πάμε. Ανεμογεννήτρια αυτή συμπληρώνει έτσι. Είναι 1 kW.
I mean right now it's possibly about 10 or 20 watts, which is nothing. But I like them, okay? I can put one, it's my house, I can put one. But in reality, why am I doing this? Because it's zero to ΔΕΗ and zero to BP, to Shell, to Echo, to Avin. So I don't want to support those companies anymore. They play an important role. I'm not naive enough to think that we can just say go away. but we have to say go away very quickly. So we need to do this, and it's saving you money, a lot of money. But more than that, it's for me anyway, it's the freedom of getting these people out of my life. I don't want them in my life. Sorry, I'll tell you who powers my house, and it's the sun. Thank you. So there's a freedom in this. So okay, you're going to save money, but there's also a sense of freedom. And once you start generating your own power, like Damianos does, he looks at his dial, he goes, yes, great, that's saved me X euros, and that's a nice feeling. So inside there, we're going to just look it's a bigger group, so we have to go in and have a look at the inverters and the batteries, because they're a very necessary part, and we say thank you Michalis for installing that. He did a very nice job.
Thank you.
Give us a wave, Michalis.
Hello to everyone. Repeat the thought process.
A quick question about this. Is this solar PV?
And this is an aquaponic pond, so we have fish.
Okay.
So we have fish in there.
And you heat them with the solar?
No, I don't heat them.
Okay.
No. The sun heats it, and you can swim in this. I can swim in this.
Okay.
It's not blue, but it's not dangerous either.
Okay.
And you can grow plants, but it's still work under development. It's like a chemistry set. You have to get the chemicals in the right composition, the right pH.
I can help you with that.
The ammonia, you grow spirulina, so you know this. So we're going to talk later about how difficult it is to get these chemicals in the right composition. But for electric energy, it's a formula. You have panels, and you have an inverter, and you have batteries if you're off grid. So sort of like just form like a snake, and we'll go inside the building. So basically, there's the 3 grid-tied inverters, which convert the DC to AC. There's 2 they form the grid for the house, and they charge the battery, and they take from the battery. So they're very clever. They're very clever devices. And right now, our battery is at 89%, which is good. We're in the middle of the day. It's the peak production, and we're almost full. And what does it? I haven't got my glasses. What does it say? 2.8.
3 kilowatts.
3 kilowatts. So they're normally about the same. So we're producing 9 kilowatts. Yes.
You have to for backup, or because you need to? 3.
No, 3. So I need them all. There's no backup. I mean, it's really everything's functional. There's no. We do have some batteries for backup, but that's just we sell them. But this is a fully functional system.
Okay.
So 9 kilowatts we're producing. I mean, think about it. I mean, at any one time in a house, you'd produce. You would consume, say, 3 or 4. With an electric vehicle charging about 6, but we're producing 9. And that's a phenomenal amount for a house, because we're charging the 2 solar butterfly Teslas at the top. So we're going to power them up to Petra, and then they're on their own.
2 πάνελς στο μπαλκόνι. Κατευθείαν στα κάγκελα στο μπαλκόνι. Το κάθε πάνελ είναι 280 βατ. Υπάρχει ο controller για να ελέγχει την φόρτιση της μπαταρίας, η οποία είναι 120 αμπερόρες στα 12 βολτ. Και είναι ένα αυτόνομο σύστημα υβριδικό που με τις κατάλληλες ασφάλειες εκεί μπορεί ουσιαστικά να συνδεθεί και στο σπίτι και να κόβει κιόλας κάποια στιγμή.
So the point, what is this? This is balcony solar.
The question is, am I allowed to put this in my balcony? In the πολυκατοικία.
You must have a permit from Πολεοδομία.
We are not going to take it. Never.
No, it's a small climate. Είναι άδεια μικρής κλίμακας την παίρνεις κατευθείαν.
It's allowed for net metering purposes in the balcony or in the facade of the building. It is allowed. It's already allowed. The problem is that you must not exceed from the balcony. You must be parallel with the
vertical.
Yeah. And the other problem is that you have to cut off the energy going to the grid. You must consume the energy produced from the balcony solar panels at the right place, at the place where you produce the energy. You must not give back the grid.
Παραβλέπουμε μία παράμετρο ότι ο διαχειριστής και ο εσωτερικός κανονισμός της παλικατοικίας, ακόμα και αν το Υπουργείο το εγκρίνει, θα πει εγώ δεν θέλω, θα μας χαλάσει την όψη.
Το αισθητικό.
Σε λίγο καιρό θα συμβεί αυτό που συμβαίνει ήδη στην Ισπανία και στην Ιταλία, που αντικαθιστούν τις τέντες με πάνελ και στη Γερμανία. Όχι απαραίτητα με αυτά, με οτιδήποτε πάνελ. Στη Γερμανία έχουν εξαντληθεί τα balcony panels. Γερμανία, Αυστρία, Ελβετία έχουν εξαντληθεί. Μπείτε στο Amazon να δείτε ότι έχουν.
Εγώ θα κάνω πάντα το σιλίγορο του διαβόλου, γιατί έτσι πρέπει να κάνω σαν δημοσιογράφος. Εάν φυσήξει ένας πολύ δυνατός αέρας, πάει και τα φωτοβολταϊκά.
Εγώ θα σου πω το εξής. Έχω 10 χρόνια οικιακό φωτοβολταϊκό στο εξοχικό μου και σε σημείο που το κάνει πολύ αέρας, αν γίνει σωστή κατασκευή, δεν έχει κανένα απολύτως κίνδυνο.
Ακριβώς αυτό.
Οκ.
Μόνο το χαλάζει.
Ο Μιχάλης τα ξέρει καλά αυτά, ο Καλογεράκης.
Πάντως πρέπει να έχει και τη σύμφωνη γνώμη της συνέλευσης.
Ναι, αυτό δεν είπα.
Όταν πρόκειται για πολυκατοικία.
Γιατί πρόσωπο. Αν το βάλεις στο μπαλκόνι σου δεν χρειάζεται κάτι, γιατί όπως στο μπαλκόνι σου βάζεις μια κούνια, μια ομπρέλα.
Αλλάζει η όψη.
Όχι, στο μπαλκόνι μέσα.
Να φανταστείς ότι εγώ δεν μπορώ να βάλω αυτές τις τυσσόμενες πόρτες για τους κλέφτες, ώστε να αφήνω την μπαλκονόπορτα το καλοκαίρι ανοιχτή. Δεν μπορώ να τη βάλω. Δεν με αφήνω διαχειριστής. Χαλάει η όψη.
Όχι, διαχειριστή δουλειά έχει μέσα στο σπίτι.
Κι όμως.
Δεν είναι συμπρόσωψη.
Όχι, συμπρόσωψη είναι. Είναι η φωτοκάμερα στο μπαλκόνι έξω. Well.
So the answer to your question is, I'm not a lawyer, so that's a bullshit answer, I know. But really, I don't see anyone coming around to your house. If you're an inspector, giving you a problem, if you have your balcony solar connected to your fridge, for example. So if it's your own consumption in your own house, not connected to the grid, then I don't see a problem with that. Perhaps your neighbour might say it's not aesthetically so beautiful. To my eye, it is very beautiful, but that's a question. But we're living in a time of an energy emergency. Come on, guys, wakey, wakey. We need to have a solution to these problems. So let's just park the aesthetic discussion to one side and start producing our own energy.
We all agree on that. We must do it.
We totally agree. But it's not up to me. I'm not alone in the πολυκατοικία. I'm not alone.
Aesthetic is important. So we have to introduce in this project, very important project, we have to introduce this aspect. So our lives is not like dystopia with
yes. But like, seriously, if you make it aesthetically sympathetic, you're an architect, you know this. Just make it in line. Don't make it crazy shapes, and be respectful. I don't see anyone's going to complain. I mean, come on.
Let's keep going.
Come.
Ενώ το να βάζεις οτιδήποτε βρακιά, πουκάμισα, μαγιό κτλ. Αυτά αισθητικά.
Φαίνεται πως μάλλον δεν ζει στην Ελλάδα.
Ζω στην Ελλάδα.
Ζει στην Ελλάδα. Εγώ επειδή ζω στην Ελλάδα και τα βλέπω τα προβλήματα, τα καυτηριάζω και τα αντιμετωπίζω, μπορώ να έχω άποψη. Και στο ένα και στο άλλο. Εσύ το έχεις κολλήσει στον ηλεκτρισμό, καλά κάνεις και λες έτσι.
Είμαι διαχειριστής στην πολυκατοικία μου. Είμαι διαχειριστής.
Να μην παραμείνω εκεί λοιπόν, να μετακομίσω.
Βεβαίως.
So πάμε.
Έχουμε και το σκύλο στην μέση.
Ώστε τώρα λύθηκε το μυστήριο. Είσαι διαχειριστής,
Andrea, come in. So we were discussing batteries. Just a small discussion on batteries.
Παιδιά, λίγο ησυχία.
So people have been asking me about batteries. They're saying, David, can we recycle them? Are they eco-friendly? and they are a necessary evil in the transition from fossil fuels to renewables. It's a fact. We have to stop burning fossil fuels now, and to do that we need batteries. But we can do this in a way that's less harmful. And what we do is we build batteries from new, and we also build batteries from old batteries that were discarded prematurely. So in here, this looks like a computer box that we bought for nothing, literally nothing. We have batteries here, we have an inverter and a charge controller. So this, if you're going camping, is a perfect solution. It's a 1 kilowatt inverter, so you can power any device when you're going camping or in the garden. And we're reusing a computer housing that would have been in landfill for 1,000 years, just doing nothing. And now we're giving it a second life. So some people say, oh no, I want to have everything packaged in a new box. And I say, get another planet. We've got one planet only. We have to start reusing stuff. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's got a lovely hinge designed by Apple. Lovely handles designed by Apple. Why should I throw this away?
If you remember, David, this was rotting in the junkyard.
Can I take it with me now?
Okay.
Can I take it?
Money. Your podilator for this battery.
Which podilator?
Is it electric?
No, this is Angelos podilator.
Angelos is podilator.
Angelos will give you his bicycle and I will take this. That's a good escape.
Safety, please.
Safety, please. Andreas, explain to him.
Τι ακριβώς?
Για να ξέρει ο κόσμος.
Λοιπόν, ωραία. Οι μπαταρίες λιθίου καταρχάς μέσα έχουν ένα πολύ μικρό κομπιούτερ το οποίο ονομάζεται BMS ή Battery Management System, το οποίο φροντίζει η μπαταρία να μην φορτίσει πάνω από τα όρια που πρέπει, να μην αποφορτιστεί κάτω από τα όρια που πρέπει, για να μην έχουμε φωτιά, πυροτεχνήματα κλπ. Έτσι. Οπότε, από την μπαταρία είμαστε καλυμμένοι. Victron, φορτιστής, έξυπνος φορτιστής για φωτοβολταϊκά. Έχει όλες τις προστασίες μέσα, ενσωματωμένες, έτσι, δεν χρειάζεται ουσιαστικά τίποτα. Ύστερα το inverter. Το inverter έχει ασφάλειες από μόνο του, έτσι. Οπότε όλο αυτό λειτουργεί σαν μία μονάδα παραγωγής και κατανάλωσης, να το πω έτσι. Στην ουσία εδώ, από πίσω, έχουμε όλες τις εισόδους. Εδώ βλέπουμε την μπαταρία πόσο είναι φορτισμένη. Από εδώ ενεργοποιούμε το inverter, το οποίο μας δίνει έξοδο 220. Φορτίζουμε από μπρίζα, φορτίζουμε από φωτοβολταϊκά. Απλό. 60 αμπερόρια είναι η μπαταρία. Μέχρι 1000 watt συνεχόμενα μπορεί να δίνει.
Αυτό σημαίνει ότι αν εγώ αυτό το έχω στο αυτοκινούμενο τροχόστο, μπορώ να το φορτίζω
από το ένα φωτοβολταϊκό.
Από τα φωτοβολταϊκά που έχουν στην οροφή.
Ναι.
Το θέλω.
Ένα καινούργιο.
Και πρόσεξε, έχει και. Έχει καθαρού ημιτονίου inverter. Μπορεί να τρέξει μοτέρ, να έχει κομπρέσορες, ψυγεία, ό,τι θέλεις.
It would be great for your camper van, yeah? That's what you're thinking.
I understand.
Yeah. And for your boat, put it in the boat.
Oh, the boat. Oh.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Μπορείς να είσαι 3 τέτοια και να βγάζεις περίπου 3 κιλοβάτ.
Ναι, μπορείς. Τώρα αυτό είναι σαν παράδειγμα για να δεις τι μπορείς να κάνεις.
Εντάξει, ναι. Για να είναι και εύκολα μεταφερόμενο.
Και μεγαλύτερο inverter μπορείς να βάλεις και μεγαλύτερη μπαταρία μπορείς να βάλεις.
Τα 1000 που λέει εδώ ονομαστική, τα βγάζει.
Τα βγάζει, ναι, είναι καθαρού ημιτονίου.
Ναι.
Να, άμα θέλεις μπορεί να βάλει και το αλυσοπρίωνο.
1100 ευρώ. Εντάξει. Δεν πολύ ακριβό. Ναι, τη Honda τα 2000 έχουν 2.000 περίπου. Τα καλά, έτσι.
Και ένα αντίστοιχο Yeti σε αυτή τη χωρητικότητα είναι γύρω στα 3-4 εκατοστάρικα, 5 παραπάνω κάπου εκεί. Χωρίς φωτοβολταϊκά, χωρίς ρυθμιστές, χωρίς όλα αυτά τα έξτρα. Ξέρεις, αυτά τα solar generators που είναι σαν κουτιά που τα παίρνουν και πάνε κάμπινγκ.
Εγώ πάντως και μόνο γι' αυτό άξιζε που ήρθα σήμερα. Σοβαρά το λέω.
Αυτό 1000 μαζί με τα φωτοβολταϊκά.
Όχι. Είναι 1100 μόνο το κουτί. Εντάξει, το φωτοβολταϊκό είναι 150 ευρώ, παίρνεις ένα φωτοβολταϊκό.
Πόσα πάνε μπορείς να βάλεις?
Ένα.
Πόσα βάτ?
100, 120.
Can you make it bigger?
Ναι, γιατί έχουμε από την μπαταρία που είναι μικρή. Αν έχουμε καλύτερη μπαταρία και μεγαλύτερο BMS,
you know the Opel Vectra in the back? There's a 5 kilowatt inverter with a 5 kilowatt battery. This is a very heavy duty device that you can...
Ένα μικρό...
How many kilos? Have you weighed it?
It's about 50.
50.
So it's two people. Two people.
Okay.
So,
nice, interesting.
So πάμε στο κάτω for a thermal battery. Thermal. With off-grid living, you have to have a solution for winter. So this is it. Let's get everyone down. Πάμε στο κάτω.
Downstairs. You didn't have this area last time.
No, we didn't come here. We had.
That's why. Yeah. It was a secret.
It was a secret. So you've seen this and so on.
I don't think so.
Okay, let me let everyone down. But this is the thermal battery. The thermal battery is up at Cato. And to you and me, it looks like a piscina. And that's because it is a piscina. 1. 2, it's a thermal store. Stores energy from the summer to the winter. And 3, it's a extra space. So we have beds here. So this was laid out for the Solar Butterfly team to sleep here last night. Because it's here. We store the beds at the top. And there are also benches. So when you were sitting on these turned through 90 degrees. The point is we try to get more functions out of everything we do. So we get 3 for the price of 1. So we put all the energy from those solar thermal panels out there. You can see. Because in summer they're useless. I mean, we have too many. So I dump all the energy into here and I take it out in winter. So it's a thermal battery.
Circulating to radiators?
Yes, I'm going to show you. So just before we go, all the marble is free. We get it from the. It's recycled. So we go to the marble yards.
Broken pieces from the.
Broken pieces. So it costs nothing, apart from me having to cut them and stick them. Employ local people to do that.
So the whole area is swimming pool?
Yes.
And the temperature approximately?
Now it's about 25 degrees, which is kind of fine for swimming. So we just lift it up with that hoist. I'll show you. So, I won't do it right now, but just to say...
David, may I take my wife here because she suffers from...
So you lift it up.
She suffers from cold water.
I'll make it hotter for her. But 25 is okay.
Oh, it's stable. Very nice.
It's very nice. But the sea is even better now. I mean, the sea is what? No, less.
It's less, but it's less.
It's less. So, you're welcome. Come.
I know I'm welcome. I know.
So, okay, what else to say? So that's a thermal battery. And so we take the heat from that swimming pool and we give it to the house. So follow me and you'll see how we give it to the house. So under here, I don't know, I want to show you all this now, but just hold that. So here is a heat exchanger. So can you see this red thing here? See that red thing? It's a heat exchanger. So we take the heat out of the pool and give it to the house. Now what are these black bin liners for?
Yes.
This is all the rubbish that we use during the build. And we fill them up because they're insulation. So we're reusing everything, even the things that people put in landfill. We say no, we're using it for insulation, so I can keep the heat in the pool. But some heat escapes, and it's okay, it goes to the land around it, and it re-radiates back in. So, but this controls the amount of heat loss. So don't close it, alter it, because it can catch your hand if you're not careful. Powiedz tą mesę. So stay there.
What are you making here? Grapes?
This is for the fish. This is we had fish in here, and we pumped the dirty water to the top. So you can see it's 13 meters, and then the water comes down and feeds the plants. That was one of the experiments that was less successful, but every success is built on failure. So you get it wrong first time, and then you get it right second time, because that's a bit ambitious. Most of these things, they more or less went right first time. And in here, we have water. It's drinkable, but I don't drink it, so that's that full. It could be this full in the winter, but it's rainwater harvesting. So I capture all the rain that comes on the roof, I put it in the base of the house. So
what's the capacity?
This is about 14,000 litres, so the whole floor. So that's 30,000 and that's 14. So when we built the house, we built it 1.4 deeper than we had to, so we could put water in the house. People don't generally do that. You know, in architecture, you try and not to mix water in the house, because it's not, there can be problems, but there's not here. So this way, we have an easy place to store the water. We could just put barrels and tanks above ground, but why? You know, it's already here. So we can pump, we pump this water up to the top, and we gravity feed the garden. So this way I can reduce the amount of water that I need. You could drink this very easily, but I don't.
Humidity?
Just in case.
There's none. I mean, do you see any fungus? No. There's your answer. But it would be a problem if there was bad ventilation.
Microorganisms?
Microorganisms, I can't see them, so I don't know. But seriously, we get sufficient ventilation, because you know, in Germany or Sweden, it could become a problem because you have to close the house, and for that purpose we have a heat recovery ventilation, so we can say that we're a passive house. But in Greece, we don't have to close our houses very often. Okay, for a few weeks in winter, yes, but we can close that, or we can close this, so there's no vapour escaping. This here is a geothermal heat pump. So you get it's an air source heat pump, which is actually, we have one outside, not using it now because you don't need it. It's perfect now, October, it's not too hot, not too cold. You just have it ambient temperature. This is a geothermal heat pump. It's a 3 kilowatt heat pump with a coefficient of performance of 8. That means you can put, and I have the photograph to prove it, you put 1 kilowatt in and you get 8 kilowatts out. Can you believe that?
It's 2 times the better condition.
It's 2 times, yes. I mean, geothermal heat pumps generally go up to about 6.
Yes.
Air source heat pumps go up to about 3. But this is more expensive, it's about 7,000. But if you work it out on its life, you know, it's very much cheaper, because, you know, every kilowatt is costing €1 now, more or less. I don't know exactly, because I don't pay it. But like, I don't pay it, and you guys do, so you need to listen to this. Because it's the vapor compression cycle. It's very simple. It's a fridge. You know, you have a vapor which you compress to a gas, to a liquid, and then it expands, and then you contract it again. So it's basically a circle. And this way, if I only get 5 kilowatts in a day from my solar, which it happens when it's cloudy, 5 kilowatts, I can convert that to 40. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. 40 kilowatts actually can keep a few of my bedrooms warm. So in the winter, I use a jackie for heating, burning wood. I have to, it's a big house, but I can also use underfloor heating, and it works amazingly well. So this would be a recommendation to everyone, if you can.
Because heat goes upwards.
Yes, it's you can't hardly feel it, but it's very nice. It gives you a nice sensation.
All this crazy plumbing, you did it on yourself?
Yeah, I just bought a whole big... No, I mean, I had help, obviously. I mean, I conceived this, but I get lots of great engineers who are helping me. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 circuits of underfloor heating for the different floors. So I can turn them off individually. During winter, I might just heat the main room, and I'll close some bedrooms if there's no one staying there. So you want to be in winter. You want to be small, actually, because of the less heat. So, Joseph, this is the behind you is the heat recovery ventilation. So if you're in Germany or Sweden, you need this because you have to close your house, and you need this so you can get a circulation of air without all the vapor, the moisture. The moisture. And then behind you, Damianos, if you just open that door, that's the building management system. So it's a sophisticated house. So everything has a sensor, and there's a modem and a processor, so I can control what's going on. You don't normally need such a thing, but when it's such a complex system, I need to be able to manage it. And it's also online, so the engineers anywhere can just look at it and see what's happening and take data. So, I don't want to die with this knowledge. I want to give it out to everyone. You can copy me. There's no secrets here. Why not? I mean, good.
So this is the anti-moisture system, right?
So the ventilation can also dry the air.
Can you heat the air?
You could heat the air, but that would be a little bit over the top, I think, because you'd have to heat it with electric elements. Heat is best provided by a heat pump, because you get that coefficient of performance. You get that either 3 for an air source and an 8 for this, which is crazy good.
So this system dries the air inside the house. True?
It's less dry. It removes all the moist air. So in a bathroom, you're having a shower. There's moist air. It removes it, and when the fresh air comes in from the forest, it warms up the outgoing air because there's a heat exchanger. So that way you don't lose the heat, because when it's in the house it's relatively warm. You don't want to just evacuate it, you want to take back the heat. So the cold air gets heated by the warm air.
So you don't waste energy, but you
don't waste energy, and you have nice fresh air. Yes. It's 1,000-litre store of warm water. Can you feel it? So this, not here, it's insulated. So that is it's about 60 or 70 degrees now. You can burn yourself. Solar's hot.
Yeah,
it's too high for floor heating.
It's too high for floor heating. Yes.
The temperature must be around 40.
Correct, yes. And that's the great thing about underfloor heating. It can use very low temperatures. So that's why heat pumps are great for my swimming pool. So it's 17 degrees in the pool. We heat it up to about 40. And the amount of energy to do that is nothing. So that's why I get those huge coefficient of performance.
you.